Hello, crafters. Good afternoon, and welcome to my live today, which is celebrating the wonderful Made to Surprise brand and its sixth birthday. Happy birthday, Sam. Happy birthday, Made to Surprise. I was really dreading that something was going to go wrong. And I did have an issue with my sound, but I got it sorted pretty quickly. But I think now that I'm live, I could just relax. I'd like to thank everyone who is here with us. We have 42 people watching, and I'm blown away by that. So thank you very, very much. If you're new to my channel, I hope you enjoy the live. And if you're a regular here, well, welcome back. I think, yes, the postman has just stopped in. I mean, it wouldn't be alive unless. So you can hear Ghost is going a bit mad. I do apologise. He's running late, that old postman. Anyway, today we are celebrating Major Surprise 6th birthday. And Sam has been doing videos all this week. You know, animals, you can't work with them. Sam has been doing videos all this week, and each video that she's put out, she has a bundle with it, and there are great discounts on these bundles. I have to say, I hope my hubby isn't watching. I have a couple of things got into my basket already because the price point is so good. 60% off. Haley had a video out this morning at 11. If you're not familiar with Haley, Haley is Haley's Cards. She's the DT for Sam and the Made to Surprise brand. And she made a fab card today. And again, her bundle has 60% off. So definitely pop over to Haley and to Sam and see what they have shared today if you haven't already. But stick with me until we're done. We'll be here for a little while. I'm just looking, Ghost has come in to tell me the postman was here. Yeah, so stick with me until we finish up. Now, I don't know how long I'm going to be. Last week's live was like over 2.5 hours. I don't think I'll be that long today, but I have some fabulous products I want to share with you. And these bundles are going to be on sale for the whole month of May while stocks last. Isn't that brilliant? And don't forget, Sam also has got a new collection going live this Friday. So pop some things into your basket, pick up the new collection, wing ding, and away you go. I think it's fab. So I'm going to say a quick hello to people because I know everyone loves to hear their names read out. So I'm going to do that, and I have my stream here beside me. So we have under a pile of papers, that's Benita. She is my moderator for today and is always my moderator, but she's there keeping an eye on you. So this is to my husband, Mike. If you are tuning in, behave. And to everyone else, she's keeping an eye on you all. So good afternoon, Benita, and thank you for being my moderator. We have got Sam in the chat. Now, I know she's working away in her craft room and keeping an ear on the live and an eye on the chat while she's doing multitasking, you know, as we do. So she's there. So thanks for joining me, Sam. We've also got Haley's Cards. That's Haley, the DT. Hello. We have so many fabulous people in here. We have Cara from Little Rabbit Designs. Tez is a crafty friend. We have Tammy. Yeah, we have Tammy there. Hi, Tammy. Tammy is another mucker. If you know, you know. All of us Made to Surprisers are muckers. And Tammy has a channel actually on YouTube, and I've been catching a couple of her videos. I think Tammy went live today, didn't you, Tammy? I wonder, did you do something Made to Surprise? I missed it. I was busy doing admin and such, but yeah, definitely pop over there. Cara from Little Rabbit Designs as well has a fab channel. I see that Iced Images. Hi, Louise. Louise has joined us. Are you not off on your holly bobs yet, or is that happening at the weekend? I watched a fab live that Louise did yesterday, and she was chatting about going off on holidays. So if you're on holidays, enjoy. What are you doing here? And if you're going soon, have a fab time, Louise. We have Caroline Barnes. We have Emma, Manic Stitcher. There's my husband, Mad Mike J. That's my husband, Mike. We have Barbara Hickey. We have DJM Hallett. I think that's Deb Hallett, isn't it? Um, who else do we have in here? We have Donna from DD Papercrafts, and we have Donna Lee, Alison Carruthers, Jollykins was our first one in earlier. I think I'm all caught up, am I? Beth is here. Avril, hi Avril. That's my fellow Irish crafter there, Avril, who's starting a YouTube channel really soon. Get going, Avril. She makes great cards, guys. She should be on YouTube. Hello to Alicia. Alicia is my daughter in the Netherlands. Hello to my lovely granddaughter Jane and my grandson Arlen. They probably have me up on the big screen right now going, there's Nana. So hello to you guys. I think we have covered more or less everyone. Jeanette Morrison is here as well. Did I miss anyone? Anne is there. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Anne Puddicombe is here. Pamela, Rita, Susan, Marie. Yeah, there's lots of people joined. So I think that's the admin with everyone. We're all caught up. We have 56 watching. So those of you who are not in the chat and you're just chilled out watching, maybe having a coffee and a cake. Oh, that'd be nice. Hello, and thank you for joining me. Now, I'm going to head down to the table. I'm going to show you my bundle, and then we're going to start crafting. So let's do that now. So there we go. We're down on the table. Now, I love the Showstopper dies. They are one of my favorite products to use when I'm making cards. I love a big card. I love a big card. And the Showstoppers, you can make your standard card using them, but you can go big and you can make big cards. The card I'm going to make today is going to be 8 by 6 when it's folded flat. When it pops up, it's a little bit bigger. So I find using an 8 by 8 envelope is great for those. You can use your envelope scoreboard and make an envelope to size if you like, but I think they're great just slipped into a gift bag with a gift as well, you know. Sometimes you don't need to have an envelope with them. So we're going to make a 6th birthday card for Made to Surprise using this. So they come in, all the dies come in the Made to Surprise packaging, all your stamps will. When I get them, then I adapt the packaging to suit myself. So I have taken my dies and I put them on a magnetic sheet. So this is some of the dies and this is the main die, and I've cut this out twice, and then I've used the matte layer here as well and cut that out. Now I'm going to go through all that once I get to that part. I'm also using a very recent stamp and die set. This is the Make-A-Wish A5 stamp and die set, and it's fab. This is definitely a crafty craft space room filler. It's, if you're doing a birthday, there's lots of elements in this that will always come in handy. I especially love the poem that's on this. I like to have a nice size sentiment in the inside of my card. You know, the generic happy birthday, wishing you a great day, that's fine. But I like a poem. I like a Hallmark style poem. And I think Sam knocked it out of the park with this one. So I had to have this and use some of the stamps and dies as well as this poem in my card. And then the other thing that's in this bundle is the hurrah stamp and die set, and this one's fully loaded, so you get a fantastic set of stamps. I particularly love the candles in the numbers. Like, these are brilliant for any birthday card, anniversary card. You'll want to stick a number on it. You'll want to have a candle on it. This does both. It's fab. There's some nice adult sentiments like Sip Sip Hooray. This card is chipped. If you throw it in the bin, I will be alerted. I love that. I would totally put this on the back of a card and have done. Age is just a number, in your case, a very big number. And I love those snarky sentiments. So, and we have lovely images, etc. And I'm using some of the images from this as well as some of the dies. Look at all the dies that come in this set. And they're big. I mean, like you can see my hand. Look at the size of that champagne bottle. Woo! I mean, love it. So I'm using the yay from this. I'm using the balloon from this. And I'm using some of the stamps from this set. And I think this is brilliant value for money. Now, if you were to buy these 3 products from Craftworld on any other day, you would spend the guts of £97. It's like 100 and something euros. And if you want to get these products, you can get them in the bundle for like £37. I mean, that's gobsmacking. 60% savings on these 3 items. That's massive, guys. I mean, yeah, I'm so chuffed. I really am. I'm so chuffed with them. So I do have some other products I'm going to use. I'm going to be using this paper pack. It's the Celebrations one. I love the this paper here. It's like all the poppers and confetti and everything. And I'm also using the hearts because, you know, we're celebrating a birthday and I love MTS. So that's the paper pad. Now, these products are separate. The bundle, you will get your 60% off if you want to add the other products. Now, I'm not sure what's going to be left in stock, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. But I think Craftworld have been brilliant to bring us those 3 products at such a knockdown price. I'm loving the mechanism from the recent collection, the double slider mechanism. And I want to put this on my card using it sideways. So normally we'd be pulling up and down. I'm going to have them coming out that way. I think it's going to look savage on the card. And then finally, the numbers. These are my favorite go-to numbers, and I have a plethora of different sized dies for numbers, but these are my favorites. We get 1 to 9. Well, you get 1 to 10 because it starts with a 0. We get the ST, the ND, the RD, and the TH. Now, like I said, I'm not sure if these are in stock. I should have actually checked and I forgot, it went out of my head. But I have die cut out the shadow for the number 6 and the number 6 itself. These are fantastic, these numbers. And if I'm to tell you a little secret, I think there's going to be another set of numbers coming out soon. I think Sam gave us a little sneaky peeky. So if you don't have these ones and you can't get your hands on them, keep an eye on what's coming up. So there are all the products that I'm going to use for this card make. Why don't we have another quick look in the chat, and then we're going to get making, and I have everything here to make this fab card. I've also got my Ohuhu markers. I will be doing a little bit of colouring, just a little bit of colouring today. So let's have a look. Get Simone's bundle, Avril is saying. Okay, I'm just gonna scoot quickly through. I'm so bad at looking in the comment section. If there is something that you want to ask me or you want me, you know, to mention, put it in capital letters. That way when I'm skimming through the comments, that will really grab my attention. I don't have anything here in capitals, so I think everyone is just chatting amongst themselves. Avril said she doesn't believe the numbers are available anymore, but I think I remember Sam saying there's numbers coming on Friday. Well, there you go. Thanks, Avril. Yeah, I had to use those numbers though for my number 6. Do you know, I couldn't not. It's made to surprise. But that's the thing with made to surprise products. They go pretty quick. Tez said, I thought I only needed a small basket, but it's growing. Yeah, but at the prices they're at, Tez, You can't not. There is a product in one of the videos Sam did. I think it was, no, I'm not going to mention it because you'll all go buy it and then I won't be able to get it. One of the dye bundle sets that Sam has used, I didn't get that dye at the time. Now I have 99% of Sam's product. But I didn't get this one. I thought, oh, I don't need it. I have the other version of it. And I thought, you know what, I really should get it. And I went to look, and it's nearly as expensive to buy the dye on its own as to get it in get the whole bundle. So yeah, I got the whole bundle. It's in my basket, but shh, don't tell my husband. He's probably here listening. Um, Nova is there. Hi, Nova and Deborah. Deborah ordered this bundle. It's brilliant. Well, I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted now, Nova, that you got that. Jane said, hello, everyone. Lovely to join you all. It's lovely to have you, Jane. And Pink or D says hello. And Benita is reminding us that we will be going live. I'll be going live tomorrow on Benita's channel, which is called Under a Pile of Papers. We're going to go live tomorrow at 2 p.m. BST. Again, we're going to be celebrating Made to Surprise. There won't be a bundle on that. We're just going to take some of our favorite MTS products. We're going to craft together and chat together. So if you're not doing anything tomorrow afternoon and you'd like a bit of crafty company, you can join myself and Benita on her channel, Under a Pile of Papers. Right, I'm going to get crafting now. I don't think anyone is trying to get my attention. Avril said, I've given up deciding what I need. I just gonna get the bundles now. Because she has a fear of missing out. Avril, I'm not far behind you there. Sharon said, thank you, Sharon. Sharon Ward said, hi, Simone. Thank you for doing this live. Oh, you're welcome. And yes, Avril, use Simone's link to shop. There is a pinned link depending what device you're using. The pinned link is either at the top of the comments if you're watching live. It is also in the description. And if you click on my pinned link for the bundle or to Craftworld, I will get a little kickback, a little percentage back, but you won't be charged anything extra. And it helps me to purchase the products that I love to use, which is MTS. Okay, so let's get started. It is just gone 2:15. Would you believe my clock fell off the wall earlier? Frightened the life out of me. But I have it up now and hopefully it's up there. I'm using those Velcro sticky back, you know, instead of damaging the wall. So they're supposed to hold up like a half a ton and it's only a light clock, so maybe I didn't do it right. Okay, so let's see. Top of the class, Benita. Stalker seats. Avril says, yeah. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, and I'm going to move this over here a little bit, and that way then I can show you what I've got here prepared. So we're going to take our main die, which is the trifold showstopper die, and on this I have die cut out the main mechanism, which is this one here. And I've die cut this out twice. Now we are going to sit this. You could just have a card made like this. You could flip it around and have your card like this. And it'll fit nicely into 6x6 envelope. But if you take two and you join them together, you can either make a card like this, which would be great for a baptism, a confirmation, a communion, something like that, something, you know, Christian kind of. You can also flip it over and have it in this shape, and again you've lots of area here. You've got your cross, which would be very handy for that, and the whole thing will fold down like so. Now I'm going to actually do it this way. So I've got one piece like this and I have another piece like this, and I'm going to bring them in together. And this is going to give me an area to put our little mechanism so we can pull it out this way. And the whole thing will fold into itself like so. So it'll go in our 8x6 envelope, our 8x8 envelope if you've got a ready-made one that size, which I do, which I'll probably use. Or you can, you know, make up your envelope whichever size you like yourself. Now I have put one of these. It doesn't matter whether it's this one or this one, but it's whatever one is going to sit behind the front panel. So I've gone with my right one is going to sit behind my left one. I've taken a sliver, literally a 1/16 off. It just means when you put it together, you'll have I feel you'll have a nicer look here rather than it being set like this. If I bring it up closer for you to see, so rather than it being set like that, it will actually sit in like this, and I think it gives it a cleaner look. So that's the look I'm going for using that die. Now there are matte and layer dies. The other one that I have, this one, I've used it. Now I haven't gone for the bigger size. I've gone for the next size down for my pattern paper. So when you put them together the way it isn't intended to be put together, you need to adapt your dies. And that's what I have done. I have die cut out a panel that's going to sit in here like so. Now you're going to ask, Simone, how did you do that so beautifully? I know, it's beautiful, isn't it? So I took this die, and what I did was I'm going to move this out of the way now. For any of you who are not familiar with partial die cutting, so you take your die, you could do it on, we'll say, a regular piece. And if I put that on there like this and put it through my die cutting machine, it'll cut that shape out. But if we put this through our die cutting machine like that, and we take our plate and we add it over it, but if you leave a little bit of the die outside the cutting line, if I can get it to sit on nicely, like so, your die cutting machine will only cut what's under the plate. So when you have a piece like this here, that won't cut. So that's what I did on my pattern paper. I put my die down on top of my pattern paper like so, and I had my cutting plate just off the top like that, and I ran it through, and then I took my die and I turned it around this way, and I put my die literally right to the edge of the paper there, and I set this down on top, and then I put my plate down so that it's set on this side and cut. Now I brought it over so that it would come to where it had cut, like so, but I haven't gone past this because we don't want this cutting these two pieces off, and I ran it through my die cut machine. And when you do that and you do your partial die cutting, you will end up with a piece like this. Now if you want the numbers from here to here is 3.5. Yes, it's 3.5 inches. Inches, not centimeters, 3.5 inches. And that gave me this perfect piece that will sit on top here. So I'll move that out. So I hope, I mean, there's a lot of crafters here who are well familiar with how to do partial die cutting, but just in case there's someone who isn't familiar with it and is not sure how to do it, that is how I did that. So that's going to be my beautiful piece of pattern paper that's going to be on there. Now, I've also die cut out two of these, and I've used the inner die on this set here. And one is going to go in here, and the other is going to go in there, like so. Okay. And then I've taken the smaller little box shape here, and these are going to go on our panels here, here, and here, and the same on the other side. They'll go over here, here, and here. So we'll have all of our card front will be decorated. Now, you're saying to yourself, well, you might be saying, Simone, where do I write my message to the recipient? Well, you can do that on the back here because you've got space. But I like to have a card. So what I've done is I've taken a panel and it's going to sit in here just nicely in there like that. And this will give the recipient a place to see their message. You know, it'll give you a place to write your message. It'll go in there. And these will still close down over it. So your card will still close and everything, but you have a nice little area there in behind where you've got your sentiment and everything. And I like doing that. Now, you don't have to do that. You can just stamp a message here, stamp your poem or whatever you want, or write your message in there. But I do like the idea of this. I think it's a lovely clean way of doing it. So I've that done. So I have my Make-A-Wish poem is there. I've stamped the little gift box and the lovely little party hat. I've just noticed I never got to do the tassels. I was actually chatting with my granddaughter when I was colouring these two in, and I forgot to do the tassels. So I must remember to do that. But that is the base of our card. That's how that's going to look. Now, the next thing to go on to that, just move that down there, is we want to do our slider. And that, as I said, is going to sit in the front. So if I turn this back over, I will remove those for now and I will add this on here. So our card is going to sit together like that. Our pattern paper will go over the top, and then we're going to have our slider mechanism. So our slider mechanism is this one here. And again, this is how I like to keep my products when they come. They come in this packaging in a little bag inside, and then because it makes it easier for me with doing the videos, I stick them onto the magnetic sheet. So I'm taking this piece, which is the mechanism for it, and I have die cut out this piece here. And that's going to sit on like so in that orientation. You will need a little Ziploc bag. I have cut my little Ziploc bag, and it's just a single piece of the plastic. It's an IKEA Ziploc bag, if you wanted to know, and I've cut it just shy of 4 inches, and that will fit nicely in here like so. And then that wraps around, and when we get to the mechanism I'll show you how I do it, but that's going to sit in there. Then I've taken this piece and it has given me this piece here. I've die cut that out. That's going to sit in front of the mechanism like so. And then when we pull our little pull tab, our 2 panels here are going to pull out. And we'll have a message on those, and we'll do some colouring on those. So this piece, my green piece, is from this die. I hope maybe if I kept it in. And then this piece, I cut it down and it's a little bit smaller, and let me just give you the measurement. This piece for the matte layer is 2.5 by 4.5 for that piece. So they'll go on there like that. And on top of that then, I've got my number 6 from our numbers that'll sit on there. Now I've also got a plethora of other things, and that's from the other sets. I've got my balloons, which is from the Hurrah set from this one. My Yay is from this set as well. And then I have my little gift, and my little hat is from the Make-A-Wish, and my poem is from that as well. So I think that's everything. With my balloons, what I did was I die cut them out in white. You can see them there. And I also die cut out some holographic. and I'm going to cut them off just past the little balloon piece there, and I'm going to glue them on, and I'll decorate the card then with those balloons. Now, I think, is that everything? I did have two little frogs. Where are they gone? I had the two little fun frogs that come in this set. Oh, do you know, that's what happens when you're getting a lot of different things made. But I want to put two frogs on, so if I can't find them, I'm going to stamp and color two frogs, because I think they'd be fun around the sentiment at the front that I'm going to have on here. So, right, I think that's everything. Let's go ahead and do some assembly. I'm going to have a read of some of the comments while I tidy up. And yeah, let's see. Great tip on the die cutting, Marie Hopkins said. I love doing a bit of partial die cutting, Marie, like that. But it can be a bit scary, you know, knowing where to put the plate and the whole lot. But I wanted to show you it and not assume that everyone would know how to do it. Benita said, Simone, Becky was wondering where you got your magnetic sheets. Well, the magnetic sheets are from Temu. Now, I was purchasing a magnetic sheet on a roll. It was, I don't know, like 30 inches wide, and it had like 14 meters on it. But it's getting so expensive now to buy stuff like that. So I've been getting these from Temu. Am I happy with them? I'm not really chuffed with the quality of the ones that I've gotten so far. They've been on the lighter gauge, so I've been putting, you know, some cardboard behind them. Normally I would just put my magnetic sheet onto a 300 GSM white piece of cardstock, and that works perfectly. And that's what you would have seen with the with this one. If you look here with the showstopper one, it's just on a piece of cardstock. Now, admittedly, I do have another magnetic sheet on the back, but this one is probably twice as thick. So I think if your Temu is a great place to shop for your magnetic sheets. Just be aware of how thick they are, because if you get them very thin, the dies can just fall off the sheet, you know, so that's the thing. But I do know my crafty friend Kay, she gets magnetic sheets from Temu, and she said that they appear to be thicker than the ones that I've been getting. So yeah, Temu is handy for stuff like that, you know, for you know, just the general things like your plastic envelopes and your magnetic sheets and your different things for in the craft room. I think they're great, you know. So, let's see. Did I miss anything else? I think it was just that one. We have 70 people joining us today. Some of you are in the chat and some of you are just chilling out and watching. I hope you're enjoying. If you are, please do give a thumbs up dependent on what device you're on. So I'm missing lots of comments. Simone, what is the width of the whole center matte layer? Linda wants to know. So this center matte layer, the whole length, or just the center panel? So if it's this one, Lynn, that you're asking for, Lynn, this measures just shy of 7 inches. It's like 7, let's see, it's more. It's 7 and 3/8. 7 and 3/8 is what the length of that is. It's 5 and 3/8 wide. The gap here, this piece across here, is 3.5 inches. So I hope that helps. If you wanted, if that's what you wanted to know, Lynn. Mike has said the magnetic sheet roll from MDP supplies is £98 for 10 meters. Thanks, Mike, for checking that out. Um, that the roll width is 610 millimeters. Aren't you handy to have there between yourself, Avril, and Benita? I'm absolutely sorted. I hope that's what you wanted, Lynn. Was it? Yes, she's put in. Thanks, Simone. Yeah. Ali has joined us. Hi, Ali. She said, "Afternoon, everyone. Sorry I'm late. I'm just finished cutting out the trifold card." Oh, brilliant. Brilliant indeed. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do while I'm here watching the chat is I'm going to stick my base together and I'm going to add my panel on the back. And once I've that done, I'm then going to stick my slider mechanism on. So I'm going to move this out of the way. And I've got, oh, that was my chair. I have a creaky chair. So in case anyone's going, what? Yeah, I have a creaky chair. Please be aware. It's not a creaky bottom. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to move these out of the way as well and put them down there on my shelf. And I'm going to get the Kalal glue. Now, Kalal glue is a glue. It's a strong glue, solvent. I was looking for that word. Words can be hard. It's a solvent glue. It takes a little bit longer to catch, but when this dries, it dries hard, solid, you know. I decant it into a smaller bottle. I think the alternative for that in the USA is the Beacon 3-in-1, which again is great. And then I have the white glues that I use, Cosmic Shimmer. I've got the tonic glue here, the Barely Arts glue. They're a glue that is more of a quick grab glue, but that when they bond, it's a softer bond. So I like the harder bond. So I'm just going to add my glue from here straight down, straight up and across. And that way then my glue can be setting while I'm chatting and crafting. And so is everyone having a good Wednesday? My husband calls Wednesdays hump days, hump of the week. I hope you're all having a good Wednesday. Are you crafting? Are you sitting just chilling out, having a cuppa maybe in your sitting room? Are you at work? Are you sneaky watching at work? Are you working from home, sneaky watching? I'd be interested to know where you are, where in the world you are. I'm in Ireland. I'm in the west of Ireland. I know we have lots of people here from the UK, so I'd love for you to pop in the comment section the country you're in. You could go like, I'm in America and Kentucky, or do you know what I mean? If you like, well, I'm in Ireland in Mayo. Where are you? Lynette says she's just watching. Sure, why not? I like to watch a live and then come back. You know, if I'm going to make the card, then I can come back. I've seen how it goes together. I think visually, I'm a very visual person. That's what helps me. I'm going to add this piece on as well, and this can be drying too using our Kalal glue. And that way then when I go to stick the mechanism on, this will be set and it'll make it much easier when I come to play with the mechanism. I love this mechanism, the slide and see mechanism. I think it's very kid friendly as well as adult friendly too. You can put anything on it. I love the hidden messages as well. And it's a really great mechanism to have. I mean, it's an easy mechanism in that you could actually make it yourself and, you know, just cut it out from cardstock yourself. But having the die and just throwing it, you know, onto your die cut machine, die cutting it out will bim bang, there you go, you're all done. It makes it so much easier. I'm going to come in from the back now and just add a little bit of pressure to our liquid glue. Adhesive of any kind, it likes a bit of pressure. Some glues, especially some tapes, they are activated with a little bit of pressure. So I do like to add a bit of pressure down. That's lovely now. And it kind of hides our join a bit, you know? So I love that. I'm going to add my, will I pop my panel on now? Maybe I'll add that at the end. We'll just keep that for the end. Okay, so that's our card base done. Let's see. Anna is in Portugal and I'm crafting, but it's a new home card that Linda is crafting. Caroline is in Suffolk. Jenny is in, oh my gosh, this is like trying to speak French, so do forgive me, Jenny. Jenny is in Warna Warrnambool, Australia. Oh my God, did I slaughter that? I'm so sorry, Jenny. She has finished work for the week and I'm relaxing and I'm watching you make amazing cards. Oh, thank you. I'm blushing. Nova is in the East Midlands in England. Jules has just made some fish cakes and is going to make some doggy treats for her little Jack Russell, but she's in Suffolk as well in the UK. Iced Images, that's Louise, is in the murky Midlands. Louise, I hope your weather when you're on holidays is better than the weather here, and I think in the UK at the moment as well. It's very, very windy here and very, very wet. Very, very. Um, Tammy is in work. Shh, Tammy. Tammy is in Pennsylvania. His family lived in Pennsylvania in the USA. Haley is watching from West Yorkshire in the UK. Tez is in France. I know that. Even though she didn't mention it. I know she's in France. Jollykins is in the Midlands in Sheffield. Mike is very busy in work. Yeah, you definitely look at. Anne is from West Yorkshire. And Sharon is in Lincoln. Becky is, oh no, she's saying hi to Tez. Donna from DD Paper Crafts is in West Yorkshire. Emma is in Hampshire. Lot of UK. Lot of UK. Lovely, lovely. And Mike is saying, yeah, he used to live in a place called Middle Wallop in the UK. Isn't that a fun place? Middle Wallop. That's what I got when I was bold as a kid. A wallop. Um, let's see. Earl is in the UK near Manchester. Lynette is in Norfolk. Pamela is in sunny Suffolk. Well, you're having better weather than some, I think. There's definitely a weather front rolling in across Ireland and the UK. Right, I'm going to get on. It's really hard to read the comments and do stuff on the table. So do forgive me for being a bit slow when it comes to. I look at Sam and I think, wow, you do it all at the same time. I'm so impressed. Right, so on our piece of plastic, I have put a piece of double-sided tape. Now, this double-sided tape is 1/4 of an inch wide. I just wanted to make sure. So that's it on the front there. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to put my mechanism down and I'm going to add this onto it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that's nice and straight. I'm going to, you want this tight on the mechanism, but not too tight so that it doesn't actually move. So there's a fine balance. And believe me, it can take a few goes to get it right. But sure, it's only plastic. If it doesn't roll nicely for you, you can just cut it off and try again. So I'm going to bring this up so that my tape is just up near the top. and that might make it easier. Now Sam has her way of doing this, Haley has her way of doing this. We've all got our ways of doing it, but I think it's all mostly the same. Then if you can get the liner off your release paper on your tape, which I sometimes struggle with. I was doing it with red liner tape and I was doing more cussing than I was making, trying to get that nicely situated. So now I'm going to try and keep my fingers off it. And once that is nice and straight, now it can be a little hard to get this right with your tape on it. Bring this over and sit it down. And you don't want anything sticky sticking out the side. And if you have anything sticky, just get your embossing buddy and give it a little dab of your embossing buddy, and that will take any sticky off the end. And then it should move nicely. See the way my tape is down here now, and if I twist it up like this, my tape comes up to the top. So I'm going to pull this back, just back from the edge a little bit, and I'm going to take my scissors, and I love these Fiskars scissors, and I'm going to cut that off like so. And it doesn't have to be perfect. That works a treat. Look, lovely, lovely. Very happy with that. I mean, it is pretty easy to do, really. There's no hard work in it. I'm a bit fingers and thumbs now because I'm on the live trying to get it done. But yeah, that works lovely. So hopefully that will fit in there. Great. Now, once we have that done, I've got some lovely skinny strips. Now, if you don't have these are Amazon strips. I've links down in the description below. These, if you take some of your regular foam tape, we'll say you have something like this. Take a piece of parchment paper, or greaseproof paper we call it here. Take a length of this off, cut it, sit it down on your greaseproof paper, your parchment paper, and then using your scissors you can cut strips off. And that way, having the parchment on the back, when you use your scissor, you don't get any sticky residue on your scissors. But I got these ones on Amazon and they are so handy to have. So we want to put a little strip of that on each side. So I'm going to do that now. And we want one on the front and the back. There, like that. You have that done, we're going to add our panels on. Now I need to be careful because I need to color in my panels, so I'm going to do that before, but I want to have my mechanism all nice and ready. So we can do that. Now, am I missing anything? Oh, Mike is back off to work. Everyone's saying goodbye to him in the chat. So he must be heading back to work. And there's lovely chats going on amongst everyone there. That's lovely. Okay, and we'll cut that little piece off there. And I have a bin just down here in case you think I'm throwing stuff on the floor. I have a bin down there. So now we have our mechanism ready. That is going to sit on the top here. We are going to pop this on the front. That will sit on the front on top of our foam like so. But our panels, which are these two, are going to sit underneath. So one will pop out this way and the other one will pop out from underneath this way. So if you're adding a sentiment onto your panels, you need to mark, we'll say this one is coming out this way. So I have a mark, I've marked in 1/2 inch into my panel. And I know that when this gets pulled out, anything past that is going to be seen because we have this coming on here like so. So you want to be sure whatever is pulled out you can see here. So stick to your stamping on this side. I don't recommend sticking any die cuts onto these panels because it can be a bit of a faff when they're pulling in and out on our mechanism, so I don't recommend that. So take your two panels, put a little mark on one side at a 1/2 inch, a little mark on the other side at a 1/2 inch, and you'll know where your stamping needs to be. I'm going to do that next because I have some colouring to do. Then we can stick that on. We can then do all our decorating with all our bits here. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to bring these in like so. And I know I want to stamp my little hat and my gift. I've got my number 4 and my happy birthday, and I've just stuck them on the blocks for the purposes of this. And I've also got the confetti popper. This is from the Hooray, the confetti popper. So I'm going to stamp them. Now I like to use, and I know I'm a bit of a rebel, people don't recommend it, I like to use the Versafine Clear Nocturne ink for my stamping. Now I'm using alcohol markers to colour, and people don't recommend that. They recommend you use the Memento, but I don't like the Memento. I don't like the stamping that it gets. I find it very dull. So what I like to do is use the Versafine Clear, and generally I let that dry. But I'm going to be a rebel today, and I'm going to just wing it and hope for the best. So I'm going to put that one on there and this one on here, and I've got my mark here, so I know this is where I want to stamp on this one, and this is where I want to stamp on this one. So we'll put a couple of these down. So on the one that's pulling out to the left, I want it to have happy birthday, and I'm going to keep that right over to the left hand side, and hopefully we'll see it. And I've got the number 4 is going to go on the top like it's a birthday cake. So I'm just going to do the happy first, and I think I'm happy with the positioning there. I've got my little mat. You can always put a couple of gift boxes down across the bottom, but I'm going to do my happy first, and hopefully that's nice and straight. Excuse my head, guys, but I do need to get under just to see. I think that's good enough. Yeah, that will do nicely. So we'll do a little bit of inking on that. Lynn says, I'd like to see it when you've filled it, Manic Stitcher. I have a wine bottle holders, but they're hard to find. Oh, yes, for the alcohol markers. I have the, where am I? This side. I got the towers on Amazon. I think I have a link for that down below. I'm very happy with it. Rather than them standing that way up, I've laid them down, and they fill that area on my Billy bookcase. It's the slim Billy bookcase there behind me. Let's see. Just, and don't sweat it if you're stamping and you know there's a bit of it that is missing. You can always take a black fine liner pen and fill in, especially if you're doing it in black. There we go. So now I'll just give that a little wipe. Get my cloth here. I use a microfiber cloth. This looks manky, but it's actually clean. It's washed, it's just stained. And I shall take that off and then pop my 4 on. Can stamp that as well. I have a roast chicken in the oven. Last week I had slow roast pork in the oven. I have a chicken in the oven cooking away there at the moment, and it smells divine. My stomach will be rumbling soon. You'll all be hearing it. Lovely. There's our happy birthday and our 4. We'll give that a clean. I have 61 people watching. Thank you for joining me today live. I hope you're enjoying it. And I'm going to pop one of the little gift boxes down here. Stamp those as well. Do a little bit of colouring. I put the little hat. I think that will actually be, yeah, it might be, no, little gift boxes. We'll have 2 together like that. Tez is saying Simone 666666. Yoo-hoo! So what did I miss? Simone should explain. She wants to use this as a 4th birthday for someone. Oh yeah, I was debating. I was thinking, oh, I'll make this card and give it to my granddaughter for her 4th birthday, but it's a made to surprise party celebration, so I'm actually going to stick a 6 on it and it'll come in handy for another time. So I'm not going to worry about that. Hello, Miss Moo. Hello, Miss Moo Moo. Nice to see you here. Quickly popping in to say hello. Well, hello and welcome and thank you for joining. So that's that one done. And now we'll do our second panel. And I do like to stamp them individually. That way, you know, I just find it, for me, a better stamping and I feel more in control. So I'm going to pop this up here and then I'm going to do my party hats down the bottom. So we'll pick that up. You have used a 4. Oh, oh dear. Blonde moment. That's what I call that. Yes, I've used a 4 because my thing is I'll put the 6 on it for the happy birthday for Made to Surprise and then use it for Jane, for my granddaughter, for her birthday. So that was the plan and that's why I had a 4 out. And I thought, no, 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 what I should do is I'll just make it up as a 6. And I forgot to change the 4. So I mean, it's real time, you know. There's no production team here. There's no makeup and hair and the whole lot. We're just keeping it real and doing the whole thing. So I do have a 4 made up there. So I'll bring the 4 in, seeing as I'm 4 stamped now on that. Oh my God, you couldn't make it up, folks, could you? There's always something. Always something. Okay, so let's do some of our cute little party hats. I want to do one there and I'm going to add little gift boxes then around those. So we'll do a party hat here. These are stamping beautifully as well. Very, very pleased with that. And I think I shall do another little party hat behind that one like this. Bring it just like this. But it's a 4 candle. I know, Benita, it's a 4 candle. I know you're all panicking. It's okay. I could easily just cut another one out and stamp it. There's no panic. This is live crafting, folks. This is the joys of live crafting. We won't sweat the small stuff. I'm certainly not going to sweat the small stuff anyway. You know, that's the joys of crafting and having a bit of fun. Now we'll move this one over here. So I have cut a little cover for my party hats, and I've used a post-it note to do that. And that way then I can stamp on it and it looks as if, you know, one is in front of the other and one is behind and that kind of thing. I thought that would be fun. So now, okay, so we have that panel there. Okay. So I need to do a new panel. So before I do anything, I shall do that. And I'll get out my trimmer and we'll very easily just cut a new piece. And this piece needs to be 2¼ by 4 inches. So 2¼ by 4. Is that right? Yes, it is. So we've got our happy birthday. All we need now is our number 6 candle. So let's take our ruler and we'll mark in 1/2 inch, and I literally just set my ruler on like that, took my pencil and did a light line like so. Pop that back in and we can do our number 6 on our happy birthday. So let's see, we'll do our happy birthday here. And our images can be drying while we're doing that. I'll wind down a little bit. Perfect. And now I just need to grab my number 6 from the lovely Hurrah stamp set. And we'll pull out the number 6. Put that on. Now I will need to give that a little, I haven't used the number 6. So what I like to do is I like to take an eraser, which I have just behind here. Carol said, I don't even sweat the big stuff, and there's quite a bit. As long as I can craft, it makes life better. You're a girl after my own heart there now, Carol. I'd be the same as well. Okay, so let's see. 6. Play. So I'm going to take my eraser, or as we like to call them in Ireland, our rubber, and just go over the stamp. And that just takes any residue off that may have been left by the factory and helps with the stamping process. So hopefully that will stamp nicely. There we go. Beautiful. First time round. All that shouting at me. And now we'll do some of our gift boxes. So I think I'll bring one over here and do that one. I'll take my 6 off as well and do a little stamping with that. And then we put down our little mask. I don't even think I need the mask, to be honest. I don't think I do. Nope. We'll give that a little bit of ink as well. Uh, what did Sam say? Carol said, "Hi Sam, I could take offense at that comment about blondes." I'll have to scroll back and see what Sam said. I'm blonde, Carol. Yeah, Sam's blonde as well. So you're allowed. You're allowed to slag off other blondes when you're blonde yourself. Okay, so there we go. And we have our 6th birthday. And we will use this. So there we go. Now we have our 2. We can get to colouring. This is the fun stuff. This is stuff that I, before, would not be bothered with, to be honest. But since I got my Ohuhu markers, I've been having great fun. So I have some markers picked out here. And what I do is I swatch my markers. I'm just doing a little tidy up because I don't like too much going on in the desk. It freaks me out a little bit. So I swatched my Ohuhu markers onto a swatch sheet, and I made up my own sheet because, as I said, my towers there are 15 markers wide. So I had to do 15 boxes wide, and then I did it in a color scheme that is appealing to me. So this is how I've done it. Then what I do is I take a 3 color blend, and I'll have a look at my markers and I'm like, oh, those 3 might be nice. And when I find colors that I think works for me, I then put them in this swatch sheet. And I have this swatching sheet on my Facebook page, Blonde Cards and Crafts. So it should be there if any of you want it. But it just makes it easier. And I intend to fill this up with different colors, and this will grow as I'm using more of my markers. But it just means when I want to come to color a couple of images like this, I can have a look at my swatch sheet and go, I think I'd like to go with that green blend and that orange blend and that pink blend. So I've got the marker numbers there, and then I can come over here and I can go, right, I want this pink. It's or310. So I can look here for my 310 and I can see it's the 4th row across and the 2nd row down. And then I can go to my towers over here and I can go 4th row across and 3rd row down, and there's my marker. And the same when I'm putting them away, I know exactly where they need to go back in. So I don't know, everyone does it differently, but that's how it works for me. So I'm going to color these in, and because I have colored this in here, and I've used my lovely teals, I think that's what you call that color. I'm not a real color aficionado. I do want to color the little pom-poms on my hat. I'm just going to take one marker and do that in blue, because some things it's nice to have, you know, like my little gift box there has some shading in it, and I am by no means, you know, a professional. I would call myself a moderate or an intermediate colorer. If that's a word, is it a word? Um, yeah, so, you know, I'm just sharing my journey with you, but I'm sure everyone has their way of doing it. Becky says, I'm used to my acrylic markers to do the card for my nephew-in-law. Very good. Kathy is here. She's from Ohio in the USA. Hi, Kathy. Ted says, that's too organized. Mine are just in a lump of color. See, I would struggle with that. I would find it hard to pull out the markers and color when it's like that. I like a bit of organization so I know where I'm going from. And I know a lot of people say, you know, do your coloring light to dark and dark to light and everything. I do it. I start light, go dark, and then do it whatever way is, you know, the best for me. You can see here I've got a plastic sheet underneath. You generally get one when you get Ohuhus. I'm just using the little U-shaped pocket that I keep the sheets in. And I'm not colouring over the inking because although it's dry, it's not dry, you know. You can heat set it with your heat gun if you wanted. But yeah, I think as long as you're not smearing your marker over them, it should be fine. And you'll be able to see now with how I get on here how it works for me. But I do know if you want the professional way and the correct way of doing it, people will tell you use your Memento ink. So, but I'm just showing you how I do it. This is what works for me. This is what I like to do. And although I'm using a 3-color blend, I think you could get away with a 2-color blend for these. And I'm just going to go over that again in the light area where my light colors are. I'm going to color in a little bit of confetti here as well when I have the markers out. That's my light one, and I'll take my dark one as well. Just do these in the green. Lovely. Okay, and I'm going to do the bow in yellow because I want one of my gift boxes to mimic what's going on in my panel that's going to be underneath. So again, I'm going to take my lightest color, and all I'm going to use after that is going to be my darkest color. So I could zoom in for this, but I hate using the zoom because it doesn't really, it's a bit blurry. I have a new camera coming, guys. I have a new camera coming for up here. So when I want to zoom in, I can ask it to zoom and it will automatically zoom. If that works, I'm going to be gobsmacked. Anyway, I'll zoom it in. Let me know if you prefer it zoomed in or out. So if you could put in the comments in or out, I'll know whether you want me to zoom in or out, whichever you find is best. So let me know in the comment section, and if you could put your comment in capital letters. Benita might keep an eye on that there and tell me what the numbers are, and I'll try and keep an eye on it as well. So now that is basic but beautiful. I think I might do a little bit of yellow on my candle as well with the light, and then I'll go in with the darker one. My tummy is rumbling because of the smell of the gorgeous chicken. Right, I'm going to shout out what the yellows I'm using: Y17, Y19 and Y28, and I'll make a list of these in the comment section after I'm done. The light blue that I used was BV58, and the teal colors that I have used are in no particular order. I'm just pulling them up and shouting the numbers out: BG 211, 311 and 310. So that's those colors that I've used so far. I'm going to use red as well because that's my granddaughter's favorite color, and there is red in the pattern paper. And this is what gave me my ideas for the colors as well, is the colors that's in the pattern paper. So the reds I'm using are R513, R016 and R014. So 513, 16 and 14 is the color blend for that. I'm going to go in with, I'm going to be a rebel, and I'm going to do the dark color on the little ribbon. and just at the top there. And I'm going to be very careful with the red because it tends to bleed. And I'm going to do red on this. And again, I'm just doing it on the edges there because it's so tiny. And then I'm going to take my lightest color and I'm going to go in with those. Do that with this. So I have the color chart out here. Um, if you want, to see what I'm doing with the color swatches, do let me know and I can pop that onto my Facebook page as well. I know lots of people are very interested that have, you know, the Ohuhus, what color blends you're using. I just think it makes it easier. Do you know, if you have the color blends that someone's using. Oh, look, I'm after a bit there. I have a white gel pen. Now, I could get my zero marker and using that, you push the color back in, which is what I could do, but it's just as easy to go over it with a white gel pen. So that's what I tend to do. But reds are notorious for that. Once that dries, it'll be fine. I'm going to do a blue with the red. I might go for this grey blue. So let's see. We want BV 414, 315, and 98. 48, I mean 98. 48. So 315 is our darkest, 414 is our middle, and 48 is our lightest. So I'm going to go in with my lightest colour first. Did we say whether we want it's zoomed in or out? Are you happy with it zoomed in, guys? Let me know in the comments. Benita, was there all in, only one out? Oh, so you're all happy with it zoomed in. Brilliant. Okay, that's fab. Glad to be of service. So hopefully next Wednesday when I go live, which will be back to my normal time of 10:30, because Sam normally goes live at 2 o'clock and I am just filling in Sam's time because she is prepping for the next collection, which is due out this Friday. I'm so excited for this. Haley has been working with it and has mentioned that it is a fab collection. We are all going to be chuffed when we see this new collection. I'm looking forward to seeing what the new numbers are going to be like. Sam does tend to give sneak peeks on her Muckers Assemble channel. That's a YouTube channel for those of you who are not aware. Sam goes live on a Wednesday and on a Friday at on a Wednesday at 2 p.m. BST and on a Friday at 10 a.m. Now, normally if she's doing a live, that time can change, but definitely keep an eye on Sam's Mixed Up Crafts page on Facebook. And yeah, actually, I'm going to do a blue little hat there as well. That one's done. I kind of feel I want to colour in the 6. I might do it in orange. No. Do you know, funny enough, I never pulled out any oranges. No, I think I'll do it in this light peachy colour, which is a colour I picked out for the background if I needed it, because it's very similar to our background paper. So I think I'll add a little bit of colour on that. Okay, so I want to do the blue for the hat. So 315, 414. Where's my 315? There it is. So 315. So I'm just gonna pull this down along the edge. I hope you can see. Last time I was doing this, last Wednesday, I looked back over the live to find my head was mostly under the camera. I was disgusted with myself. Oh my goodness, James Pearl, happy belated Mother's Day. Oh my goodness, James. Can everyone give James a thumbs up? He's after sending me a lovely super thanks gift of $20. Now, James, um, I know James. He's a friend of my husband's and myself. Our families are friendly, even though we're across the pond from each other. Um, I'm so surprised to see you here, James, catching an afternoon live. Thank you so much for joining and for giving me that gift. That is such a wonderful thing to do. Thank you so much. In case you're wondering how James did that, there is a like a dollar sign with an S, you know. Down beside the comments, there is a super thanks button. And if you click on that, you can give your content creator a little gift. And that's what James has done. A belated Mother's Day gift. Well, thank you very much, James. What a wonderful thing to do. That's really made my day. Thank you so much. That's lovely. Aw. More made to surprise products for me. Woohoo! Oh. Okay, so that's my hat done. And I'm going to pick up the reds again. I'm going to go in with the lightest red and just do the lovely pom-pom at the top in the red colour. There we go. And I didn't mess it up too much. Brilliant. Okay, I want to pull out some of my pinks. I have, now I know there isn't particularly pinks in there, but I'm a pink girl. There has to be pink on here. So I'm going to throw some pinks in. My pink color blend is or 310 or 3 or 38 and or 27. They are down there. Can you see? I'm going to quickly, if I bring in the swatch sheet like so, if you want to grab a screenshot, there you go. You have a screenshot now of my color blends, and hopefully that might help you. I think I'm going to do my little gift box in my pink. So my lightest pink color is R27. So that's this one. I'm going to go in and do my light color first. And I'm blown away by that, James. Thank you so much. That's something you'd see on Jennifer Maguire's channel. You know, the big YouTubers. And you see them getting all their super thanks. Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you so much. Lynn is shouting, tell her she's out of shot, Benita. Okay, well, I hope I'm back in shot enough that you could see. It's kind of hard keeping an eye on the comments, keeping an eye on the screen in front of me. So much to do. This is not easy, guys. Okay. A little bit down there, under the lid, here. And then I'm going to go back in with the light again and just blend that out. And with the Ohuhus, if you go over your color, it can actually give a secondary blend. So I'll just bring that up so you can see so far what we've done. I think I might go in with a green for my bow on top there, and I've given you the color numbers for these already. So it's BG 311, 211 and 310. There are three colors. So I'm going to go in with the dark one first. Dark. And then I'll go with the light. I have to say, using the brush tips are new to me. All the tips I've had on my markers before have been like the fine tip. And I really thought I preferred that, but having used this tip now for a while. I'm actually really loving the brush tip. You can be as big or as small on this, you know. You can be very delicate and get a very fine amount, or you can press down and get a heavier coverage. Right, I think I'm happy with that. Now for our last hat, I'm going to go with purples, and I think I'll go purple and yellow on this one. So my purples are V015, V010, and V08. So that's the darkest to lightest. I'm going to go in with my light first. And I think I might do this in a stripe. Might be fun. Says you're a pro. Simone, you should have Benita in your ear telling you what's going on. I did see that, Tez, before. I should really put Benita on Messenger, on a Messenger call, and she can be in my ear saying, oh, Tez said this, and so said that, and you know, that's the thing. I don't have, like Jennifer, I don't have a mic person here, you know. Jennifer's very lucky. She has Mike, her brother-in-law, does all her he does all her lives with her. So he's doing all the techie stuff and, you know, telling her different comments and stuff like that. So she's really, really lucky. I think we might go for this darker blue. So we want BV314 and BV312, 312 and BV58, which is this one, I think. Yeah, so dark, medium, and light. And then back up. The pink and the purple might have been nice together as well. So I'm going to do a little bit of dark along the edges. Benita says, I'm doing fab. Thanks, Benita. Look, I'm just here having a bit of fun, making a card, enjoying myself. That's all I'm doing. Here, keeping you guys company. Or are you keeping me company? I think you guys are keeping me company, eh? And I'm going to pull in one of the purples. So we'll have a bit of blue on the pom-pom. On the pom-pom. There we go. And I'll come back in with my lightest color again. And that will give me color. There we go. Okay, so there is our coloring, short and sweet to the point. So we have this one here, and we have our happy birthday 6. So they're going to actually pull out in this direction too, like that. So now I'm going to put them over there. I'm going to move my those hoo-hoos out of the way. I'm going to take a little drink of tea. Um, Benita said, no orange. I'm shocked. I know it's your favorite color. But if you look, Benita, James's super gift, his super thanks, um, yeah, that's orange. So you got orange. Hey, how are we doing for time? 3:30. Right, a little bit of assembly. Let's go. So what we want to do now is we're going to take our mechanism, and where we have our tape across here, I'm going to bring that to the top, and I'm going to stay zoomed in for this because I think this will work really nice. So when it's closed, our tape is here under our plastic. So when it's closed, this one is going to pop out like this when we roll it, because the tape will roll down that way. So we want to add tape there. So I need to add tape across here, and I have my tape. I have my tape. There's my tape. I put it somewhere safe and then put paper on top of it. So it's gone very dark outside. This weather, we've had great weather here for the last, I don't know, 2 weeks, so we can't really complain. So now I'm going to add tape over where I had tape before, but I don't want to come anywhere off the tape. I want to make sure that this tape only goes on the plastic that's down there. So I'm going to pop that on there like so, and then I'm going to get my scissors and cut that off. And I'm going to make sure that moves. It does. It's not sticking anywhere. And then I'm going to take off the release paper. I can get it. Come on. Yay, we got it. Okay. So this piece is going to, the edge of this is going to marry up with the edge of our mechanism along here. And it's going to sit down on our plastic right in between the two, like so. And we'll add a little pressure. We'll do a little dance, get down tonight. And then we're going to move this, and this will pull out like so. So now we have our other piece, which I want to fit underneath. So if we flip this over, we can see that this piece needs to be facing downwards. So we want to add, so it's gone from being like this, where it'll pull out like that, to this pushing in. We want to add our panel behind, flip it over, and that way we know our adhesive needs to be on this side. So when this pulls out, it'll move down this way, like so. I hope I've explained that, because it can be a little bit hard to kind of imagine what way it goes. But once you have the mechanism and you're doing it yourself, you'll see how it works, you know. So again, make sure your tape is on the plastic, only the plastic and not the mechanism. Make sure your piece is closed there properly. So it's like that, it's closed. This piece is going to pull out this way. So our tape, it needs to go on there like so. So that's the only thing, making sure you keep your orientation and everything the right way, because you don't want to open this up and then one panel be upside down. That would be very, very disappointing. If I can get, there has to be an easier way to get these liners off the top. And I wouldn't mind, but this pokey tool is sharp to take the eye out of your head. Okay, let's see. Concentration is needed here, I think. Oh, Murphy's Law. Just an edge there now, one way or another. You get it. Oh, we have it. Okay. Will you come off? There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to check that's the right way up. This is the right way up. and our panel is going to stick on there. I'm going to make sure this is right over as far as it can go, and then I'm going to stick this down on top. I'm lining it up with the edge where our tape is down on the plastic. Fingers crossed, everyone. There we go. 6. Happy birthday. Lovely. So this is now going to stick down here on our panel. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move out, zoom back out. So this is going to sit on our panel like so. And I'm going to pop that in the middle. And then I'm going to add these on top, and we're going to do some decorating. Now you could add this on top first if you wanted to. You could sit this down on top right in the middle, then peel off your backing paper and stick that down. Actually, I might do that because that to me sounds more like a good idea, and then I know I'd be centering it nicely. This could be a bad idea. This isn't how I usually do it, but sure, look, we'll give it a go. Right, so I want to sit this mechanism down on my panel, and I want to make sure that it is centered on there. Yeah, that looks grand. Add a little pressure. We're in it for to win it now. And then we'll pull this out. Now I do need to put my little pull tab on. Lovely. And we're just seeing the happy birthday. I couldn't go, you know, I wouldn't have fitted it otherwise, but I think that's grand. You can see it's happy birthday. We have the big number in the middle. That'll be lovely. So now I want to put my little pull tab on, and I have it in my box of tricks here. So where is that gone? We need to decorate the sides. I'm going to leave those out to remind me. I'm going to leave those out. There's my little tab with my little pull. And we will, I think I'll put it on this side to pull. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue onto this, and I'm going to use my quick grab glue. I'm going to attach this onto my panel about halfway up. We don't have to be precious about it. Just like that. Now I know when this closes, I'll have that to pull on. And that can be drying. Okay, I'm going to add my panel on the front here. And stick that whole thing down and decorate. We've got our balloons to assemble yet as well. So I don't think there's an orientation in what way the paper is meant to go. So I'm just going to pop that on the top like so. And I think we'll have enough going on. I don't think we're going to need our frogs. And they hide nicely behind there. I do love that. Lovely. Okay. I'm going to add this onto the back. I'll take off my release paper on these. Move them out of the way. And then I'm going to center this over my panel. And I am pretty sure that is the right way up. Making sure it's the right way up. And then we could do it where this is open if we wanted. But I think I'm going to have it closed. I'm going to center it in the middle and center it on the top. Think about there. Should do it. You could add a little bit of tape. I'm going to stand up and look down, so do excuse the view that you've got. I do want it to be centered. How does that look? How does that look? I think we need to come up a little bit. I think that looks good. Do we all think that looks good there? I'm terrible for putting things on a wonk. No, that looks straight to me. I'm in for a penny, in for a pound now. I'm going to add a little bit of pressure. I'll turn it over actually, and that way I can add a pressure down along where our foam tape is, just a little bit. And then we've our pull tape. Oh, look at that. That is smashing. Give a little curve there to your pull tab so that you can pull it in and out. Oh, that's smashing. I do love that, and it works nicely as well. That is lovely. Okay, I'm gonna put on my mats and layers next. And again, for that, I'm going to use my Collal glue. XJ Pearl says, that's very clever mechanics. Well, you see, we have an engineering goddess, James, by the name of Sam. And Sam comes up with some great card ideas. And then she says to herself, do you know what? I think we could make a die for that to make it easier. So she comes up with some great dies and stamps. And she is fabulous when it comes to thinking these things up. And that's where that comes from. Do you need arrows? I do have one on it, Sharon, and you probably saw me then putting arrows on and you're like, oh, she's there already. What else? Oh, James is heading for bed, time for a sleep. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed sleep, James. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you for your lovely, generous gift. Thank you so, so much. That's so nice of you. For those of you who would like to do the same, you can use the super thanks button, or in the description, you could buy me a coffee. I have that link there. I also have Revolut and PayPal. So if you'd like to support my crafting, then you're very welcome to click any one of those. But it's not necessary. I just have it there for the people that do say to me, I'd love to help support your channel, Simone. How can I do it? Well, I don't do Patreon, and I don't do memberships, and I don't do stuff like that because you know, I just enjoy crafting, and I want people to be able to come and enjoy the crafting that I do by doing lives and doing videos and things. So that's why I don't have a membership, or I don't have Patreon. And that's generally where people help support, you know, whoever their YouTube creator. So I just have Revolut, PayPal, and buy me a coffee down below. And then you've got the likes of the super thanks then that is here on the live that you can do as well. And it's, I have to say, it's very, very generous when anyone does that. And I do not expect it from anyone at all. But I just have it there because that's what creators do, you know. So yeah. This is coming along nicely. I'm really pleased with how this is looking. And I am definitely going to make another one for my granddaughter for her 4th birthday, because I have that panel there and her favorite colors are reds. So I think I'll pull out some of the other MTS pattern papers I have and do her up a card with this lovely pattern paper, and I think I'll go with reds. I think there's actually reds in the paper pack that I've used. There is a red sheet. Let me just, where is that now? Because I have to see now that I've, yes, there is a red one. Look, and it's hearts as well. So when I do make Jane's card, I can use the red, and they tie in with the colors on there as well. But I wanted to go pink and teals because that's a very made to surprise color. But for Jane's 4th birthday card, I'm going to use the red and the confetti. I think it'll be lovely, lovely, lovely. So there we go. We have that done. I've got my yay to go on here. Yay. And I might just use my quick grab glue for that. And I might just have that kind of off a little bit like that. Yay. And then we have our 6 to go on there like that. And then I have my balloons. So I'm going to stick these down. I'm not going to add any more foam tape. I'm just going to glue my yay down. And what I did was I die cut this out. I had my green cardstock and my holographic cardstock, and I put them together. And then what I did was I die cut the 2 out at the one time. And by doing that, it didn't go through the whole way to die cut the little bits out. I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, how do I get the backing, you know, on the letters to stay? So that's what I do. So you can see, I hope you can see there, the A, the cutout pieces in my A didn't come out properly. I was able then to pull off the pink holographic piece, take out the pink holographic pieces in here, and then glue my A down. And that gave me the look behind, which I love. Now, I think the yay lifted would look great. I'm going to lift my yay and I'm going to add that using some foam. And I've got little itty bitty, itty bitty little foams here. And those foams as well, if you had some that were popping out, would actually hold it in. But yeah, we'll put 4 on there and we'll take off the release paper. Throw them down there and we'll pop our A up here. So we have our yay. I'll just move that over a little. And then our 6, I'm going to pop that up as well. And I think what I shall do is I shall get Mike to pop this in the post tomorrow and send it over to Sam. Seeing as it's for MTS and the birthday, I think I'll send this over to Sam to have. Yeah, I think that'd be nice. That would be nice. Now I'm going to cut 1 in half, just to get it up at the top and down across the bottom for a bit of stability. So we'll add that on. How are we doing? How's everyone doing? Hiding under my chair. Carol's hiding under a chair. Why are you hiding under your chair, Carol? What did I miss? Lynn said, well done, Carol. Can you tell me what I've done with my pack of snaps, please? Are you still looking for those snaps or popper buttons, whatever you want to call them? Lynn is on a project at the moment, and in order to finish it, she wants those little snaps. She knows she has them in her craft room, but do you think she can find them? Isn't that Murphy's Law? Right, I'm going to put my 6 on here. If you want to send Sam a happy 6th birthday for MTS, for Made to Surprise, Sam has a post box address, and if you go on to Made to Surprise or Mixed Up Crafts, I do think she has her PO box address on there where you can send cards and things to, because we were all doing that at Christmas and on our birthday and stuff. So if you're making a birthday card and you want to send one to Sam, I totally recommend it. You should do that. I'm sure she'd love it. If she's still there listening, I'm sure she'd be giggling away to herself. Right, I was thinking we could put a couple of balloons over here like so. So I think I might put two, three over there because I mean it's the 6th birthday. So I'll do 1, 2, and then 3, and I can cut the tail off. Yeah, we'll do something like that. I'll figure that out when I get to it. Or we could put three each side gives us 6. Yeah, I think that will look good. That's what we'll do. We'll put 3 each side. I'm missing, look, I lost a bit. Where did that bit go now? Isn't that Murphy's Law? Okay, let's see. I'll get them up. Now, I just need to trim them. I'll take my, we're nearly there, folks. We are very nearly there. How are we doing for time? 10 to 4. Very good, 10 to 4. Right, I'm going to use my quick grab glue for this. I have a love-hate relationship with this Misty Glue bottle. Does anyone else have it? And do you love it or do you not love it? I'd be very interested to find out. Because like I said, I have a love-hate relationship with it. When it works, I love it. When it doesn't work, I don't love it. That's all I have to say. The tonic glue that comes with it is brilliant. I love it. But I think if you have hand issues, the glue press is really, really good. But it frustrates me a little when it doesn't work. You're squeezing away there and nothing's happening. So there's 2 of our balloons. Lynn said, I saw a good tip the other day. When you have bits of foam sheet cut out with a hole punch and it makes small foam dots. Hope that makes sense. It does, Lynn, because I was making a mechanism many moons ago and you needed small circular foam pads or dots. And what I did was I took a foam pad, I left the backing paper on it, and I used my little hand punch to punch out these little 1/4 inch round circular pieces. And it worked a treat. So it did. Right, just 3 more to go. Maybe I could do this a little bit quicker if I put them all together like so. I can cut all the strings off at one time. None of them made it into the bin. But sure, look, I can clean it up later. There, Avril has put in the comment section Sam's P.O. Box address. So if you would like to send Sam a happy birthday to MTS, then it's Mixed Up Craft, P.O. Box 175, Plymouth, P for Plymouth, L for Larry, 7, 9, B for Barry, W for water. And that's in the UK. So there you go now. You've no excuse not to send a happy birthday card over to Sam. Thanks, Avril. Jeanette said, snap. I don't know what that snap is for, Jeanette, but snap. Yes, I do as well. I have a pin by my side to keep unblocking it, but it's been a godsend for me. Well, there you go. I found that putting the cap on it, you know, when I'm done in the evening, if I put the cap on it, when I come back to it, then it does work. I also, especially at the weekend, I don't tend to craft at the weekend. I spend the weekend, you know, with hubby. We're either out in the garden or doing something in the house, you know, or whatever. Um, so I find I'm not crafting during the weekend. So I put the little, you know, you've got the little lid and it stores there on your stand, and the whole thing stands up like that. And then inside you've got this rubber piece, if I can, just for those who haven't seen it, see the rubber piece? The tip sits against that, and it's, you know, supposed to help it to um, stop it from sticking. Right, I want a pink, a green, a pink, a green. I'll do a red and a gold. So we'll do something like that. So we'll add a little bit of glue on there. I mean, it is good when it works, you know, but did I want to be constantly having to put the bloody lid on it? No, I didn't. And I think that's what annoyed me. So I think we'll do one in there like that, one down here, and I'm putting glue on the little strings. I want them kind of topsy-turvy looking, you know, like they're blowing away in the wind, kind of a thing. And then this one I'll put here, and I'm going to cut that string off once it's on. Pop that one down like that. Yeah, I think that'll be grand. It's very artistic looking. Let's see. Like the good stalker I am. That's right. Avril is our stalker, as we like to call her. She's not actually, but she was over in the UK and had made plans to visit with Sam in the town Sam lives in. And Avril decided, you know what, rather than waiting for Sam, I'll just go and pop to the house. And she popped to the house. But yeah, fun, you know. Okay, I think I will do the pink in here and the green down here and the red up here. Or maybe I'll go green, pink. It is lashing raining. I don't know if you can hear that. And the red down there like that. Something like that. What do we think? Yeah, that should be good. Carol's, oh, she's talking to Haley there, yeah. Avril, like the good stalker that I am. Annette said, I would, Simone, but I can't find my cap. Oh, well, that kind of sucks. Yeah, so a pin will work fine. If you've got a nice long pin that you could use to unblock it, that will work a treat. Okay, I've got a little bit of excess glue there. That one. And the great thing about the tonic glue is when it dries clear, so you won't see the little bits that have oozed out there. They will disappear, and they are not, this glue doesn't dry tacky. So that means that when this dries, there's no residue that you can feel. Okay, I'm going to go that one there. And then this one can be here like so. Okay, we're nearly there, folks. 2 o'clock, just on 2 hours. Do you like these long lives? I think if Sam was live now, she'd be finishing up now as well. She loves a long live too. So I hope you've enjoyed this long live. It's not as long as the last one. I was doing lots of colouring in the last one. Right, let's cut the tail off this one. Stick that in the bin. Now we have our little card piece to go on the back. What I will put on here is my logo. I have an embossing press and I put it onto a gold sticker. So I will stick my little logo on the back there. And I'm going to add this in, but I'm going to pop this on using my halal glue because that will dry nice and strong and stiff. So we'll add a little bit onto here. And we will stick this down. So I hope you've enjoyed the card that I've made and the bundle I put together for you all using the Made to Surprise products. This piece now will sit nicely between our two here and here, and it doesn't fit exactly to the top. It should fit right in the middle, just like that, because it's not meant to stabilize the card. It's just, you know, you can see there, it's just to sit on the back. You could score this a little bit heavier than what I have. It'll sit, but I mean, you could use it to have your card stand like so. Do you know, it would stabilize the back if you had it like that, leaning forward. Pretty cool. But I just like it so that at the back there is a card area for to write your message, and I'll pop a message in there to Sam. It also gives you extra space along here. You've got extra space, like you could have this on the front here, you know, so that you have your lovely stamp message there, and when you open it up you have all this blank space underneath to write a message as well. So that gives you options. You can of course die cut out your little squares and this piece here, and you could pop them on there if you wanted to as well to decorate the back. I don't think it needs it. Who's looking at the back of your card? But yeah, I think that looks fab. The whole thing then will fold in like so, and our mechanism works and that folds out. So when the recipient gets it, they'll see this, and when they open it up, they have that. And then if they pull, you have that. Isn't that fab? I love it. Do you like the color palette I've chose? I think it's very, I think it's very Made to Surprise. So now let's have a quick look at the comments. Don't forget there are lots of links in the description for the bundle, for Craftworld, and for the other products that you can get from there. I'm going to have a read of the comments, then I'll come back up to me, show you the card, and then we'll be done. So let's see. Pauline said, love watching lives. Nice to get great ideas too. Nice company on the lives. It is. I've really enjoyed crafting along with everyone. Carol said, it's good to see how things come together. Thank you for the last 2 weeks of lives. Kay said, I would have been discombobulated without a Wednesday afternoon live. Well, it was my pleasure as the Made to Surprise ambassador to the brand. I know, that's me. That's what Sam calls me. I love it. I'm so chuffed. I've been delighted to fill Sam's spot. I really, really have. I look forward to going back to my 10:30 Wednesdays. I do like to get up in the morning, get washed, get dressed, get prep, get on, do it, and then I have the whole rest of the day to relax and not stress. Jeanette said, thanks Simone for going live last week and this week. You're very welcome, Jeanette. Pamela said, beautiful card, Simone. Pauline said, cool, I'll be working from home then, and that will be good. I'm delighted. So you'll have 2 lives next Wednesday. You'll have myself at 10:30, you'll have Sam at 2. And don't forget, she's going live on Friday on the Muckers Assemble YouTube channel, and she's bringing a new collection to us all. I'm so excited. But every day this week, there are Made to Surprise videos out by Sam on YouTube with special offer bundles with amazing reductions, 60% off. And there's a link to my bundle down below as well. Avril said she loves it, Simone. Great job. Oh, thanks. Mad Mike is back. He said, are you still going? I am, but I'm finishing up. Let's see. Tez said, you made a card. I just made a shepherd's pie while watching you. What a great class, Simone. Lovely card. Oh, thanks, Tez. Merci beaucoup, mon chéri. I know you're English, but you're in France, and that just popped into my head. Um, Mike said he loves the shiny balloons. Thanks, Mike. My scrapbook loft, Judy. Hello, welcome. It's my first time seeing you here. Thank you for joining, whether you've been here for a while or just popped in. Thank you very much for tuning in. You love the card, so fun. Thanks so much. It is such a fun card, isn't it? The whole thing folds flat. It'll go into an 8x8 envelope. It will actually fit perfectly into an 8x6 envelope. But I'm going to cheat and use an 8x8 envelope because I have some ready made, and I'm going to decorate the front of my envelope too. I kind of thought about doing it while we were live, but I'm not going to go on for another half an hour and do that as well. Anne said, it's a fabulous card, Simone. Thank you for your company this afternoon. Ali Bush said, you're the best ambassador. Oh, thanks. I'm blushing, Ali. Thank you. My scrapbook loft, Judy, I'm just going to call you Judy. She said, I have subbed. I'm always looking for another crafty friend. Well, Judy, so am I. And you know what, Judy? There's loads of great crafters in the comment section here. There's Under a Pile of Papers. That's my moderator, Benita. There's Cara from Little Rabbit Designs. There's DD Paper Crafts. So if you have a look through the comment section, you'll see some great crafters maybe that you haven't seen before. And after this live, I'm going to pop over and have a look at your channel. So we have a fab mechanism that slides in and out as easy as that. Look at that, folks. Now, I made this without a mechanism with Hayley on my live with Hayley, and I struggled opening and closing it. It should have worked. It didn't work. But there you go. I've made a couple of these cards using this mechanism, and it never fails. We have our beautiful real made to surprise card and our sentiment room on the back for it. So I'm going to pop up back up to me. There we go. I'm going to say thank you so much for joining me today. I'd like to say thank you especially to the lovely Sam from Mixed Up Crafts, who is made to surprise. Thank you for involving me in your wonderful birthday celebrations. Thank you to Craftworld for giving me a bundle with a massive 60% discount, which is linked down below. Thank you, Sam, for making me brand ambassador. I'm so proud, and I hope you've liked my card. It really is such a wow. Oh, can we get it all in? We can. There we go. It's such a lovely, I mean, this is a real mental pleaser, and these showstoppers really are. All the links and diddly-doos are in the doodly-doo down below. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I hope you have a great week. Don't forget to tune in to Sam, who'll have a video up at 10 a.m. tomorrow, BST. Another great card make, another great bundle, another great 60% off. Myself and Benita and I, Under a Pile of Papers, will be going live on her channel tomorrow at 2 p.m. BST. Again, we're mixing it up with made to surprise products. We're both going to make two fabulous cards. I'm going to have a spinning element on mine. I have done something very similar in the past, and I think it's going to be brilliant with this one. So do join us on Under a Pile of Papers tomorrow at 2 p.m. And I'm going to leave it there, folks. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Take care, and goodbye to all of you lovely people who have joined me, and to all of you who watch after the live. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this live. Yeah, don't forget to give a thumbs up. I have a thing in the deedly-do just here reminding you to give a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and ding the bell so you'll be notified next time I post a new video or go live. So until then, until next time, folks, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.